Greetings, it's Ian from RTO here. Welcome to a birthday top 10. Now this one is for, and I say this with the utmost respect, our oldest person we do a birthday top 10 for. And it is actually sort of related to Dave. It's Mary, who is his cousin's partner. So happy birthday, Mary. I know you enjoyed what we did last year for you. So this year, because we did the American sheet music that Dave spent ages trying to find, we found the UK top 10 sheet music in the UK for the same day. So 15th of July 1950. It is also St Swithin's Day, but remember that. And there goes someone on a motorbike. So remember that, St Swithin's Day. Back in 1950, the 15th of July was a Saturday. Wasn't a leap year. And Mary is what they call a baby boomer. Birth sign is Cancer, and the Chinese zodiac was Year of the Tiger. Now, British Prime Minister in 1950 was Clement Attlee. We don't mention his name very often. So let's have a look at some birthdays for the 15th of July, though you share your birthday. 2 heavenlies and 1 celebrating a birthday. So the first heavenly birthday, born in 1858, Emmeline Pankhurst, we know her as Emily Pankhurst, British suffragette who formed the Women's and Social Political Union in 1903. Now, she was born in an area of Manchester called Moss Side and passed away in 1928. Another heavenly birthday for Raymond Gosling, born in 1926 in Wembley, London. He was a British scientist and he was involved in the DNA structure research, and he passed away in 2015. Now, celebrating her birthday today, born in 1983, is Jocelyn Bell Burnell. She's an Irish astrophysicist and she's famous for discovering radio pulsars. Now, she was born in Lurgan in Northern Ireland. So we've got that Irish connection. Okay, remember I said today is also St Swithin's Day. There's a reason for this, but back in the year 971 AD, according to legend, English Saint Swithin was reburied inside Winchester Cathedral against his wishes, whereby a terrible storm proceeds and it rained for 40 days and 40 nights. So there's an old belief says if it rains on St Swithin's Day, it will rain for 40 days straight. But if it's dry weather, it'll stay fair for the same time. So at the moment, we could get fair weather because it's not raining. Okay, 1870 now. A little bit of American history. The last Confederate state was readmitted to the United States, and that state was Georgia. 1916 now. Now, Mary, we know that you came over to. Have been over in the UK. Now, did you fly on an Airbus or a Boeing? Now, if you flew on a Boeing plane in 1916 on this day, the Boeing company, Pacific Aero, was formed by William Boeing in Seattle, in Washington State. So there's some nice little facts and figures, but we're not here for that. We're going to see what sheet music was being brought back in 1950 here in the UK. So let's cue that music. So here we go. At number 10, down one place, we've got Daddy's Little Girl. Now, with sheet music, there's more than one artist. So I'll go through the artists that also had sheet music. So we've got Frankie Vaughan and the Nat Temple Orchestra. We've got the Mills Brothers and Steve Conway. But the one I found was done by Donald Piers and the Cherokees. Now, I'm not a big fan of this. It's the sort of thing my grandparents would have liked. It's pleasant, he can sing, and the backing singers are great, but it's not my cup of tea. Okay, at number 9, up one place, we've got Jealous Heart. Again, multiple people have recorded it. It's just Al Morgan did a version. The Tanner Sisters did a version, but the version that Dave found, because I couldn't find it, he's really good at this these days, is the version by the Squadronaires and the Squads Choir, Roy Evans and Susan Jeans. Now this is pretty good. It's a real jazzy number, very Glenn Miller style music. I love the drumming in this, it's fantastic. Okay, number 8, down one place. Again, a couple of artists have this on sheet music, and that is C'est Bon, It Is Good. Geraldo and his orchestra featuring Cyril Grantham and the Gerald Tones, and the version that I found is by Danny Kaye with the Gordon Lee Singers, Vic Chong and his orchestra. This is quite okay. I've heard this before quite a few times. Not a big fan of it, but yeah, Danny Kaye was an okay person. Okay, number 7, up one place, and it was the only one for this one, and it's I Remember the Cornfields, when it was done by Evelyn Knight with the chorus of the Gordon Jenkins and his orchestra. Very twee. That's all I'll say about it. Okay, at number 6 there was a non-mover, Let's Do It Again. Again we've got Donald Piers and the Cherokees, and the version that I actually hunted down to listen to was by Jick Dames with the Stargazers and Malcolm Lockyer's Barnstormers. It's got a little bit of gumph, this is. Not bad for 1950. It's pretty good actually. At number 5 we also have another non-mover, and it's Oh You Sweet One, the Schnizzleback song. Again, Donald Piers does a version of it with Benny Lee and Lynette Ray and the Nat Temple Orchestra, and the version that I found is done by the Andrews Sisters with Russ Morgan and his orchestra. I've heard this song before, I recognise it straight away. Yeah, it's not too bad, I suppose. Okay, at number 4, another non-mover, and the song was called The Old Piano Roll Blues. Now I do know this song. I've heard many of people do this. The artists that were doing it at the time were Frankie Vaughan and the Nat Temple Orchestra, Geraldo and his orchestra, featuring Nadia Dore and the Gerald Tones, Hoagie Carmichael, a name that we all know, and Cass Daly and the Matty Maclots All Stars, Sid Phillips and his fan featuring Tanner Sisters, but the version I found is Al Johnson and the Andrews Sister with Vic Chong and his orchestra. Once again, the Andrews Singers with Al Johnson. Yeah, it's not too bad. I do like this song. Yeah, but it's pretty good. Okay, at number 3 we have another non-mover, and it's called Deary. Quite a few people have done this one. We've got Donald Piers again, the Five Smith Brothers, Ted Ray and Kitty Blewett with Philip Green. But the version that most people know is the one that Joe Stafford did with Gordon McRae. It's very pleasant, yeah, but Joe Stafford was a well-known singer, so yeah, so that was that one. At number 2, down one, so it had been at the top. It's a song called Bewitched. There's versions by Felix King and his orchestra, Gordon Jenkins and his orchestra, featuring Lou Williams, Eve Boswell, but the version that we do know is by Doris Day and the Mellow. Everyone knows that. And we had like a new number 1 in the sheet music. It was up one place, and it was only at the top for 1 week, and it's called My Foolish Heart by Billy Enstein Conway with Roberto Inglis and his orchestra. Very swing ballad here, yeah, and this Billy Elstein had a whatever his name was, had a good vocal. So there we go, Mary. I hope you have a super day. And a happy birthday, and I hope you enjoy this. I'm sure Dave would have sent you this link anyway, because that's the sort of guy he is. So there we go. So have a great day, Mary. Okay, coming up next, a band I don't think Mary would have listened to, because it's a bit modern. We're going to rank the albums of the Jesus and the Mary chain. So join me for that later. Bye for now.